What's up, people? 16 more to go. 1-0. Fly Eagles 5. Birds of a feather. A2D Thursday night. Let's go.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Birds Brother on A2D Radio, brought to you by FanUp, the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Sign up today and use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, which is a $50 value. It's your boy Chucks, back for more, and to my left, we got Pete Evans. What's going on, my brother?
Cooler, man. Just happy to be here, you know.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here, you know. I got to tap my B's this week, so that
was crazy.
Right.
That was crazy.
I was Forrest Gump for about.
Oh my God, run!
I ain't ran like that in years, bro.
Oh my God. Well, guys, we're gonna have Jeff hop on. He's running just a little bit late, but he will be on with us too. He will let us know how Atlanta was, because he was in Atlanta for week one. So I'm here to see how that went for him. But we're here on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube, Instagram. And, of course, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, we are coming at you as well. You know, football might be back, but you know what shouldn't be? A wild and hairy bush.
Every week.
Tame your pubes, man, with the help of our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Their fourth-generation performance package includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Do right by your balls and join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and use the promo code A2D for 20% off. And Manscaped, they are bringing our poll question for this week, which is your outlook for the Philadelphia Eagles this season hasn't changed after week one. Agree or disagree? We're going to get at you by giving you a recap, our reactions to the week one victory by the Eagles over the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to give you a recap of all the other games too. While we can, we're also going to give a little preview of the Eagles 49ers matchup this Sunday, which is going to be a really tough one. So we'll give our thoughts, our predictions for that. And then that segment is brought to you by our dog, Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. And then we're going to get at you with live reactions to Thursday Night Football, just like we did last week. This week, we've got the Washington football team going against the New York Giants, a very important NFC East matchup early on in the season. So we're going to give our reactions to that. We'll be with you through if not the whole first half, then a good chunk of it. So let's get at it. Jeff should be with us soon, but let's not waste any more time. Pete, speaking of Jeff, there he is. What's going on, Mr. Atlanta?
What is this? I got what on the shirt?
Oh, I got fired.
What? What? Who?
All right.
Later.
All right,
Okay.
Pete, has your outlook on the Eagles changed after week one?
So I've been looking at this all week, right? And this is going to sound like I'm throwing shots at people that's on this platform, but listen, unlike others on this platform, looking right into the camera, I'm not ready to jump off a ledge yet and say this is division. This, as you may have heard even last night, because I need to see more. Me and Chucks, I think even somewhat Jeff on this platform, we really came into this season with no expectations. While we are pleasantly surprised by what we saw in week one, we need to see more. I need to see more. And it has not changed my outlook because, to be honest, if you guys have been rocking with us for a long time, I really haven't had any outlook on this season because I want to treat each week as its own season and see where we go from here. I mean, Some good things, some bad things, but you play who you play on your schedule. Can't really change that. But my outlook for the season still has remained the same, and it's TBA, TBD, whatever you want to call it, to be announced, to be determined. Ever in wrestling, cards subject to change. You already opinion subject to change. That's where I'm at right now, and that's not the cliche way out, because it's been years before we've been rocking, and I've been all in or I've been all out. I'm somewhere right in the middle. I'm right in the middle. I like what I see. I like what I saw. And honestly, I want to see more of it. That I can't predict what the future is going to bring and how I feel. I'm just going week by week.
How about you, Jeff?
Yeah, it really hasn't changed. Even going through this season, I said that I felt this team was going to be competitive. And after week one, yeah, they had a very decisive victory and demolished Atlanta Falcons team. But remember, this Atlanta Falcons team was, 4 or 5 wins last year? It's not like they're an NFL juggernaut. They had some pieces in place. Yeah, it was on the road. The Eagles played well. Sirianni, Jalen Hurts both had good games. Defensively, I thought they adjusted pretty well, especially Jonathan Gannon in that second half after they were getting gashed by Mike Davis. So there was definitely some promising things that gives you a little bit of hope for the future. Now, for this season, I'm not jumping from them being a team that's going to be competitive to a Super Bowl contender. We have to see a lot more of that just yet. So I'm going to agree with the poll. My opinion on them hasn't changed because we all brought up on this platform in the past, over the past couple of months, all off season, is that the X factor for this team is Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. And after one game, yeah, it was an impressive game, but we need to see more of how they can do going further throughout the season. And this week they have a big challenge with the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, they're getting banged up. They just lost their cornerback. They lost Raheem Mostert. They just lost their starting linebacker. So they're a little banged up, but they're still a solid football team in a very deep, competitive NFC West. So we're going to get a decent look on what this team really is this coming Sunday.
I think we're unanimous here because I agree to the poll as well. My outlook hasn't changed. And I love – don't you guys just love week one overreactions? You go online and you see so many people like, for everything, not just with the Eagles. It's like they have these outrageous takes as if it's like final. And it's like it's week one. You don't really know teams until after week 4 or 5.
Right.
So I agree to the poll. It hasn't changed. And like Pete said, we've had no expectations for this team. We kind of just wanted to see glimpses of hope, of development for these young players. Hope that Sirianni is a good coach. We wanted to see step moving forward. And, we weren't really expecting much wins. And it's still – they haven't shown anything, obviously, after only 1 week for us to change that opinion. But I will say I'm a happy fan so far. It obviously wasn't perfect. But overall, I'd say in terms of what we wanted to see, we did start to see it. We saw Hurts masterfully execute and manage the game. He didn't make too many amazing, outstanding hero throws, but he didn't need to. And he didn't lose the game for us. We saw Devontae Smith with that touchdown catch, and show why he is wide receiver 1. We saw, the lines on both sides of the field absolutely dominate. We saw the running back tandem of Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell absolutely tear it up, make play after play. And the most important thing, guys, we came out of the game healthy. So, after 1 week, I'm not willing to say that the Eagles are a legit playoff contender. They've always been the division's wide open.
That's what I'm saying. This division, you're a fringe playoff contender every year.
Yeah. So the division's wide open. I always thought it was possible for them in the division. I'm not going to say they're favorites still. I'm not going to say they're a team that can make noise in the playoffs. But I am happy. I am a happy fan so far after week 1. And I'm excited to see where this team is going to go moving forward. So I have a lot of stuff to look forward to. I know that we have Andy real quick on the chat saying greetings from Cape May Cafe, a wonderful Disney World Beach Club. My boy is in there. I am going to Disney World in 2 weeks, so I'm excited. It sucks that me and Andy don't get to cross paths, but he's over there. He's telling me how it is.
Do they really have a Jersey historic place as a cafe in Disney World? Jeez.
I've never been to the beach club at Disney World, so I can't say I've never been to that resort. But yeah, Cape May Cafe. Tyrese Wilson says, "What's up, loyal fan here in Georgia?" Hey, look at that!
Fly, Eagles fly.
Still wearing my gear, making them mad out here. Jesse Davis says, "I have a schedule on my fridge with win-loss written next to the game to see how right I am. I had us 8-9 before the season. I'm still the same after week 1, but could flop 2 L's into wins if I'm lucky." William Middlebrook, aka Bill Middlebrook, Ducks, Jeff and Pete. What's up, boys? Fly Eagles, fly, let's go. What's going on, brother? And Bryce Blackwell chimes in. I'm in the middle. I need more games. Exactly. And just what Jesse Davis says here. I remember like years ago, I used to be that kind of person. Like I used to go on a schedule and be like, okay, we're gonna win this, lose this. And I stopped doing that because you don't know over the course of the season what will happen in terms of injuries, in terms of player development, player regression. So like I always hate going off of a schedule week to week and saying we're gonna win, we're gonna lose, we're gonna win. Like it's to like I'm not trashing anyone that does it. So Jesse, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying like you're dumb or anything. I just found myself getting disappointed and angrier,
right? Because
whenever I would do that, it would never pan out, and then I'd be even more miserable. So like I stopped doing that for a while. But hey, like it's a thing where in terms of your expectations, you had 8 and 9. I think a lot of us wouldn't disagree with that outcome,
right?
And I think an 8 and 9 would be a hopeful season. I think that I'd be like 8 wins. Look at that.
Well, I would say this, depending on how we get that 8. If we get that 8 on the back of the defense or the back of our offensive line, defensive line, I get it. But if we get that 8 to where some players around get hurt, and then Jalen has to do more, and Jalen shows that he can be that guy, that's a completely different 8 and 9 than if you're undecided if your quarterback is the game manager or not. Like You know what I mean? I need Jalen to be like a step above an Andy Dalton. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I need him to be our Justin Fields from what I've seen already.
He better be more than a step above Andy Dalton.
That's what I'm saying.
He better be more than that.
Well, then the real test is how they go up against some of the top teams in the league. Like, look, we have Tampa, we have the Chiefs on the schedule, so it's going to see how well we go up against some of that competition. If we get blown out, then we really know where this team's at. Because, look, this week the 49ers, they're still a tough test. They are coming West Coast. I know everyone talks about the traveling from west to east, how it affects teams. They're banged up on a few key positions. And then the following week, the Dallas Cowboys, Dak's back, but now they're without Larrell Collins. They're without DeMarcus Lawrence for that game. So they're another team that's getting banged up. And within our division, granted, we just play the games that are in front of us, that are on our schedule. You only can win the games that are thrown at you. So we have a chance to be 3-0, but after that week, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but there's going to be a little bit of overzealousness like we see after one game.
Already
3-0, that everyone's going to think, hey, this is a real football team. When in my eyes, if we're 3-0, I still have to hold back a little bit. I need to see how we do against Tampa or the Chiefs or whoever the other contending teams in this league, if we're at the same level as them.
Absolutely, 100%.
What up, Blue City? Blue City, we'll get to that. As we get closer to kickoff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the little Eagles Falcons recap. So hang in there. We'll get to you. We got you.
Stay with us because the second half when we do live reactions, we'll give our thoughts and predictions for the game. But thank you for chiming in. Always appreciate it. Even rival fans, show love to us. We show you love back. Tyrese Wilson says 8 and 9 was where I landed. Just being realistic. I want to see better than expectations. So in terms of week one, let's get into it. Jeff, I'm going to start with you because you were actually at the game. You went to Atlanta. I hope you had fun. I saw all the food you were eating, and I was jealous. And I'm mad that you didn't bring any back for us. So, you know, we
it was great.
But
food down there at those restaurants, they are expensive.
Really?
I had a seafood omelet that was $20 freaking plus 18% gratuity they put on tacked on it. But
oh my god.
It was a great time, but look, not the bash, just to get off a little bit off the game. If you ever have a chance to go to Atlanta, Atlanta's a crappy freaking sports town. Look, this was a city where, first off, week one, Atlanta, that place was empty. For a week one game. Look, the lower level section, if you saw a bunch of red, those weren't fans wearing red shirts. Those were empty seats in the lower level of the sections. Upper levels was filled for the most part because those were the cheaper seats, but we easily, as a fan base, the Eagles fans, completely outruled the Falcons fans in that dome. That's why you're hearing a lot of cheers, a lot of EALES chants, especially in that third quarter. It was basically a home game away from home.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then the fact that, me and my buddies were like, why stay in the hotel for 2 nights? Let's find stuff to do. So we went to Atlanta United game on Friday, their soccer team, and then we went to the Braves game against the Marlins on Saturday. Right. There were more fans at their soccer team than the NL East leading Braves on Saturday.
That's surprising. That's surprising.
They're a crappy sports town. If you come across an Atlanta fan that says they're a great sports city, maybe for the Hawks, but pretty much nothing else.
That's crazy.
And the Braves their baseball fans in that area are pretty much, they're spoiled because the Braves are always so good. I mean, so.
I feel like they've always been good since I was a kid. It's like
no, Craig. I usually tip 20-25% depending, but the fact that they added 18% on already before I even tipped, so they already got 18%, and then I left another 10-15. So she was tipped pretty well for a $20 order.
That's good.
Wow.
That's good. I tip well too, so I mean, I always. I
was just saying, like, look, I understand why places automatically add gratuity unless it's a large party, which there was only 4 or 5.
So how big was your party?
5. Usually it's 6 or above.
Was it in the stadium or outside?
It was outside. It was at it was a nightclub converted into a restaurant because the place that we originally wanted to go to that was really well known was a 2-hour wait, which we weren't waiting, so we just went to the place next door.
Yeah. I mean,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Well, in terms of the football game, so give me your thoughts. So I'm going to leave it open. Let's have a discussion for about 10, 15 minutes with all of us. Jeff, give your thoughts, your biggest takeaways from that week 1 game.
Biggest takeaways is, look, all eyes were on Jalen Hurts, and ultimately I felt that he ran the offense efficiently. He was executing very well. Granted, there were some moments I kind of felt he really showed a little bit of the lack of arm strength, especially under pressure a few times, especially that one completed pass to Ertz down the sideline. It was in stride. Yeah, it could have been
Jose catch.
Yeah, exactly. But and look, he only could do what the game plan was given to him, and I feel Sirianni realized what the Falcons' weaknesses were on the defense side of the football, and that is their secondary is not going to be able to keep up with the speed that we have at our disposal. So he utilized the short intermediate passing game, executed the bubble screens very effectively, and you saw our offense move the chains consistently. So Ertz, I felt overall played pretty well. Defensively, like I said earlier, I liked the adjustments. Look, Jonathan Gannon in that first half, we were getting destroyed against the run, and you saw a lot of that 3-4 front, which was a little bit surprising, especially with the lack of linebacker.
We better not see that shit Sunday. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. So with the lack of linebacker depth that we had, and the fact that Mike Davis was running all over us, but And Atlanta controlled the clock pretty much that whole first half. So the fact that our defense was able to hold them to only 6 points in the red zone, which it's going to be interesting to see how we do against some better competition. Because look, Atlanta, they're not a bad team offensively, but our front four was dominating their defensive line, giving Matt Ryan no time to throw the football. So there was definitely some positive spots on the defensive side. But the fact that Jonathan Gannon adjust in the second half, because if that was Jim Schwartz, he will continue with that crappy defense that he will continue to get gashed on. So there was definitely some positives on offense and defense. But going to this game, I said I expected a high-scoring affair. I didn't expect the blowout as much as it was. The one thing I said that the Eagles were, if they lose this football game, because on paper I felt they were going to beat them, is if penalties and costing themselves with turnovers, which thankfully they didn't turn the ball over, but penalty-wise, little lack of discipline that they need to shore up a little bit, especially on that offensive line. False starts, holding calls, they killed drives. It killed that one drive in the first half, that second or third drive. So definitely some positives, the confidence booster moving forward, but definitely a few things to shore up. And then defensively also tackling, especially in that secondary. That's one thing that I feel they need to work on and practice going forward as well.
Right. So for me, biggest takeaway was it was good to see a scheme that actually worked and was executed. And you schemed the biggest play, if you just want to look at what I mean by Edward Taylor's comment, look at the Jalen Reagor touchdown. I lost track of the damn ball. That was me, and I'm watching the game. The cameraman lost track of the ball. That type of detail, and I know Doug tried to do things like that last year, but it never really panned out because somebody was missing the execution here or there. To have everything hitting on every cylinder, to have a play like that take over.
You're also, not to interrupt, sorry, but like the reason why it didn't work with Doug is because in order to have that type of misdirection and everything, you have to set it up. Yeah. You have to have a flow to your play calling. And if you don't have a flow, it's just having a fake one way and going the other way is not going to have the same impact.
I think he had two fakes, right?
There's no like, you're not marrying the pass and the running game. You're not marrying concepts together. There's no point and there's no plan of attack. Whereas with Sirianni, you are seeing it. But go ahead, No.
It's exactly the point. I mean, we saw how Ertz was wide open. We saw Miles be effective in the run game, and the offensive game plan had a flow. And then I won't say I agree with Jeff when it comes to Jalen Hurts throws. But that throw that he had to Goddard at the end of the first half, that's what I think ultimately broke the Falcons back, because it made it almost a double-digit score game, and then you knew you weren't getting the ball back to start the second half. So that kind of made the Falcons one-dimensional when they really couldn't run the ball. And what they had been doing successfully in the first half, and those really wasn't even the first half. It was those first two drives. Those first two drives, when they put up those 6 points, what they were doing successfully was being able to run the ball with Mike Davis. And they were really – what it looked like what Atlanta was doing was almost like what we see with Washington sometimes when you look at those Clinton Porter days and that zone stretch Shanahan run scheme where they just kept hitting the cutback lanes. They had everything going right. They hitting the whole left, and there's nobody was there. So it was over pursuit. But they definitely need to clean that up. But I like what I saw from both sides of the ball. It was a nice – easy game. Like I heard a lot of people say, when's the last time you saw Eagles win where you were just like, we had really nothing to debate about. We had nothing that was a bad takeaway from the game. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that. And I mean, that's not, I mean, it really is a knock to, it's not, we're not trying to go out our way to knock the people that ain't here no more. You know who I'm talking about, but it just felt good. It felt good. And I can understand people like Bill who said they feel better about the outlook on the season after week one. I need to see some more, but that would probably be my biggest takeaway, especially that throw that he had, Hurts throw to Goddard that he had on the move. But like Jeff said, there were some things where it almost, you could hear it in the telecast too. Shouts out to Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olsen. Probably one.
Ooh, phenomenal
job in the game calling. Olsen was like, it seems like Hurts, for some reason, whatever, he has the lane, he has the window, he just doesn't trust it enough just to let it go. And that's, you want to see that more. But I think that knowing him as the person, I've always said this, knowing him as the person, I think you'll definitely see more of that, because I think a la what I'm seeing from Hurts after one game, and this may be sort of a stretch, I think he's in a similar situation, but not as good as what Dak was in 2016. And that's a lot what he reminds me of was when Dak first, and then once Dak started to find out, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, I can let it go here, I can let it go there. And then you start to see the maturation. I think Hurts is on a similar trajectory. Hopefully, we won't have to pay him $40 million for a long time. But that's where I can kind of see him going at. What was your biggest takeaway, Chucks?
So, I mean, I agree with all of what you guys said. Great points. I mean, like it's great to see them in this direction, going this direction. I already kind of touched on the health of the offensive line and the whole team. So, that was, to me, that's just priority number one is health. So right now, like, this season's all going to be about health first and foremost, because we need to get out and just get rid of that injury bug or injury curse, whatever it is. But aside from that, you guys know me. So I'm predictable. You guys know I'm gonna bring this up, but I freaking loved what I saw from Miles and from Gainwell. I mean, all this talk about we need a power back. So far, 1 week in, we showed why we don't need a power back.
Right
now, would one be cool and be good, be beneficial in some circumstances? Oh, absolutely. But do we need a power back? Not when there's not a good one to be had. I'm always all for getting the better players on the field, no matter what style they run. Best players, and so if Miles and Gainwell are your best running backs, and then Scott behind them, that's who you roll with. And so far it's showed that it's paying off. I mean, for one, with Gainwell, the only bad thing I saw from him, and I posted a video clip yesterday on my social media accounts. I showed that on that 4th and 2 play, I didn't like that he was in there. And if you see it, he cut it to his right, where to his left, he had a hole. He had a hole there. All his blockers had leverage. He had a pretty clear run to that first down, but he missed the hole. So that's something where I feel like if Miles was in there, Miles would have seen it. Because Miles right now is the better runner between the tackles. And so, like, I would have, if you're going to go with a zone read there, I would have rather had Miles. However, what I loved from Gainwell is he showed that he is a reliable option on passing down. And that's not breaking news. I mean, like, we talked about it.
I was surprised at his blitz pickup, though, to be honest.
Yes. I mean,
he had Memphis.
He had some lapses in terms of his reads, but when it's a rookie in your first game, that's expected. You're not going to be perfect at blitz pickup and making your proper reads right off the bat. But in terms of, I saw it in Memphis. I don't care what size he is. He's small, but he will stick his nose in there, and he will get physical in pass pro. And that's one of the reasons why I liked him. But, aside from that, like, his reliability as a receiver is just really, really good. I love having him in there in that 2-minute drill. Just rely on him. And I really, really like his role. And then on the flip side with Miles, 15 carries, 4 catches, 19 total touches. He had over 100 yards from scrimmage. That is the bread and butter that is the workload, the perfect workload that I want to see from Miles. That's what I've been saying since not even just this past offseason, since his rookie year. His proper workload is that around 15 carries and around 5 catches. Those roles for both Miles ran the ball really, really well. Like, I was looking through, and it's tough. I hate NFL Game Pass right now because I do not have my coaches film in all 22. And I'm going through withdrawal, and I'm a very, very upset customer and fan right now because I can't.
I know you were boycotting it back in August. Like, you were doing it.
I was like, it's 1 week, and I feel so out of place not being able to watch any coaches film. But anyways, like, I do my best trying to watch the TV copy. But from what I saw, I didn't see any glaring misreads by Miles when it came to running. He did a very good job setting up his blockers, staying disciplined to run design. He looks explosive as ever. And when the 4 catches that he had, he looked comfortable catching the ball. Granted, they weren't difficult catches, but again, no drops. So I loved what I saw from the running back group. I really have, in terms of high expectations, if there's one thing that I do have high expectations for this season, it is our running back room. I really love the tandem of Miles and Gainwell. I'm very, very excited to see what they can do going forward. There are so many people outside of this market that are continuing to sleep on Miles, and I think that's just disrespect. I think Miles is going to have a great year. I think Gainwell is going to have a great year. People are acting like it's one or the other. Like, oh, Miles is going to lose his job to Gainwell. Oh, like why does it have to be one or the other? Both of them, I think, are going to succeed in their specific roles, and I think I trust Sirianni to know to do that because he did that. He helped do that in Indy with Taylor and Hines. Hines, what he does in his role is perfect for him. And then you run the ball with Taylor and you sprinkle some catches with him. That's what he's carrying over to this offense in terms of the running back room. And that's what I expect from Miles and Gainwell.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree.
So
yes. Go ahead.
So are there anything else, any concerns from the game before we get to we preview Eagles-Niners? Anything you want to see? I know there's penalties, so we talked about that.
Just that, clean that up. But I mean, like Bill said, the linebackers, man, just especially going into who you're playing this Sunday in your home opener. That's your linebackers on the defensive side of the ball need to be key. And I mean, we'll get into it as we lead into that preview for this Sunday, less than 48 hours, well, a little bit over 48 hours from now.
Yeah.
So,
Jeff, any more takeaways or concerns? Anything from week one you want to touch on?
Just going forward, I understand it's week one. I still feel we haven't seen. I feel Sirianni's holding back from his game plan. I feel that after seeing week one that he saw what was working against Atlanta. He's like, if they can't stop it, just continue to do it. So I want to see more from the playbook. I want to see Jalen Hurts take more chances down the football field. I felt we did not see a lot of that vertical deep passing game within our offense overall. There was a couple of passes. I think he had 2 passes over like 15, 20 yards. But overall, for most of his selections, it was the short, intermediate passing games. I want to see that explosive big play threat, especially with him and Devontae and the speed with Quez Watkins and Rager. We have a lot of speed on this offense. So I want to see Sirianni bring that into the fold and bring that into the with his play calling, especially now that this scheme and the bubble screens and their game plan is now on film. So now teams are going to know ways and try to find ways to take that away. So if he sees opposing defenses designing to stop that, go a deep route, take a deep shot to Devontae. So I want to see how going forward with teams taking away that scheme, how he adjusts going forward with the play calling.
Yeah, great point. I think I agree with you. I just also want to make it clear, and I'm not. You probably will agree. I think they didn't open the playbook up in terms of deep passing because I feel like they didn't have the need to. Yeah, I feel like they didn't. It wasn't necessary. Plus, especially in week one, like I totally agree with you that Sirianni hasn't shown nearly close to what this offense really could be, and I think that's like the tip of the iceberg of his playbook, which is great. And I love that he showed this. Right now he's showing, okay, we're going to be a very horizontal offense near the line of scrimmage, get the ball out quick, use our playmakers and our speed to be able to pick up yak, and you're going to have to adjust. All opponents going forward are going to have to use that and adjust to us, and then once they do that, we'll show you more. So I like that. I like the start. I watch. I don't know if you guys are subscribed or anyone here are subscribed to YouTube for the QB School by JT O'Sullivan. He did an in-depth breakdown of Hurts' game, and so because I can't watch it myself, I don't have Coach Film. I relied on him and other stuff like Fran Duffy is always great with Coach Film. So watching it, he mentioned 2 things. One, ball placement. Even though Hurts was very accurate. His ball placement was off on several throws.
Yeah.
You want to see the location and the precision be a little bit better. We talked about the Ertz throw. There was a throw to Rager on the left sideline on a comeback where he threw it low and away again, where you want to see it higher. There was another throw to Rager on the 2-minute drill where he led him to the inside, whereas if he led him a little bit more to the outside, he was throwing on the run. If you lead him to the outside, Rager has a chance to go out of bounds instead of having to hurry up, get up real quick, and having to spike the ball. So you want stuff like that. You want to see the ball placement better. The other thing that he's noticed is that pretty soon defenses are going to catch on that Hurts likes to – obviously he has a tendency to leave the pocket early. And when he does, he always goes to his right.
Right.
And when he's scrambling to his right, obviously because he's right-handed, and I get that. When he's scrambling to his right, he is very comfortable in terms of field vision and looking down the field. However, if you get him going to his left, it's not so much the case. If you get him going to his left, he usually puts his head down and runs.
Yeah.
So if you get him going to his left, he's most likely not going to throw it. He's just going to run it. So defenses are going to pick up on that. Hurts has to pick up on that.
Yep.
He has to get better at that stuff. Again, I'm nitpicking here because I'm just spotting out things from the film that obviously if we see it, defenses will see it, and the Eagles coaches are going to see it. Hurts is going to see it. This is stuff that he's going to work on, and I have faith in him that he is going to improve. So that's just the other things that I wanted to touch on. But I am very excited. So let's get into, because we're about at the 36-minute mark. So we've got about half an hour, a little less than half an hour left before kickoff of the Giants and Washington football team game. Let's get into a preview a little bit of the Eagles-Niners game. And you know that this is going to be a really tough matchup. We talked about it already. Jeff, I think you touched on how their linebacker is injured already. Another injury that they suffered on the defensive end, which I think is an even bigger loss, is Jason Verrett, their starting corner.
ACL, right?
Yeah. And you got to feel for a player like Jason Verrett. Jason Verrett has always been really good when he is on the field. Right. But he's had so many injuries, and it's just one of those players that you feel for. But that to me is a huge loss for them, because now they've got a bunch of no-name guys, and they got Josh Norman, and I like Emmanuel Mosley, so I like him. But like, if there's an area of this defense to attack right now, it's their secondary. Mm-hmm. Their secondary is the area to attack. So the first part of this preview that I want to talk about is like on offensively for the Eagles, the area to attack is what the wide receivers really have to take advantage of this matchup. You have to exploit their weakness on the outside. I expect them to play a lot of zone. They've been doing a lot of cover 3, which is what they did a lot of 2 years ago. So cover 3 zone. They're going to keep everything in front of them, and I expect big. In order for the Eagles to win, obviously the offensive line, but their wide receivers are going to have to make big plays to exploit that matchup. On the offensive side, what else do you guys see going into this game?
I mean, if we're looking at our offense against their defense, definitely. Which linebacker is out? I know it's not Warner. Greenlaw's out. Okay, that helps some. Barrett being down, they were already kind of thin at the DB position as it is. Do they still have Jimmy Ward in the safety? Yeah,
Jimmy Ward, Jaworski Tartt.
Okay. Well, I mean, there will be. I think there will be opportunities there for us. Obviously, their defensive line, for some reason, whatever, is not getting talked about as much as it was back in the day. I don't know why. I mean, I know D Ford. He pretty much he made the lines. He didn't get the lines any easy days, not easy plays whatsoever. So you got D Ford, you got Joey Bosa. No, you got Nick Bosa. I'm sorry, Joey Bosa is in the Chargers. Got the Bosa brothers mixed up. And then they also got they traded DeForest Buckner, but is Solomon Thomas still there? Is that his name?
No, Solomon Thomas not there.
Okay, so who's their DT?
Hold on. You would think I would know this, but hold on. I'll check. Keep going. I'll check.
All right, but I mean that's where I think the opportunity is. I think I'm surprised the Lions put up 33 points on them, to be honest with you. But I mean, with Jalen, and if we can mix in some runs and some bootlegs, just give them something a little bit different that we see. And I don't know who the defensive coordinator is now that Salah left, but
we know the defensive coordinator, D'Amico Ryans.
Oh, that's who it is?
That D'Amico Ryans.
Well, listen.
Love me some D'Amico.
Once you see a defense be good and they change the coordinator or the coordinator gets a head coaching job, this is where you want to catch this game. You want to catch this game. This team has to travel from west to east again 2 weeks in a row. I like our chances on offense. I like the matchups there, especially with our wide receivers. It's going to be hard to see it with the tight ends, just because I think Sirianni is going to look at it and say, where can he exploit the most matchup? Yep. Where can he exploit it at? Where can he exploit it at? So I like that there. But the offensive line versus the defensive line, I think that's a wash. You know what I mean? I think that's a wash, because I think Mailata against Bosa, that's a main event matchup. Thank you, Birds, Beer, and BS Music and Stuff. That is a mouthful, my brother. Thank you for the dono. We appreciate it. Feed that algo fam out there. Pound that like button if you're on YouTube, but if you're on Facebook or watching everywhere else, hit that like button. Let's get out there. But yeah, that's where I'm kind of right now, and that's just looking at the offense versus our offense versus their defense. When it comes back around to their offense versus our defense, I got some thoughts.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Jeff, what do you think? Our offense against their defense, where are some matchups or areas of concern you have? Whatever you want to throw out.
Basically, what you guys already touched on. Look, we're gonna have to exploit their secondary. We're gonna have to utilize our speed, especially from all sorts. The wide receiving position, the tight end, out of the backfield. Because besides Verrett being out, Mosley didn't play week 1. He's still banged up and didn't practice Wednesday. I don't know if he practiced today or not, so he's possibly going to be questionable for this game. So that's possibly 2 cornerbacks that they will be without on Sunday. So they're definitely thin at the cornerback position right now, and going up against our big play threats and the speed that we have. I feel Sirianni is, like I said earlier, I feel we're going to see more of that vertical passing game. Like Sirianni has said all offseason, that he is not game plan, or he's not having his offense strictly to his team. He's going to try to utilize and exploit opposing teams' weaknesses for his game plan and for his game plan. So I definitely see a lot more passing and exploiting that secondary, because if we know that it's their weakness, he knows that's their weakness. It's going to come up to another strong offensive line and performance, though, to shut down their front four with Bosa, to give Jalen Hurts some time to throw the football, because we saw last week there's a few moments when he was under pressure. Yeah, he rolled out some nice throws on the run, but there were also some bad throws on the run, and he gives in his face. He's going to make some bad throws and ultimately cause some turnover that could cost you the football game. Because last week we were fortunate enough to turn the ball over offensively. So I know it's an old cliche, but definitely the turnover battle is going to be very crucial in this matchup for both teams.
So I also did want to point out that they are, or hold on. There was another comment. They said that the Niners did stay in West Virginia, so they wouldn't have to travel back and forth. Thank you for the info on that.
What's good in West Virginia outside of and listen, if you've never been to West Virginia University to go party, listen, boys, I'm telling you. My God.
I'm way past my party stage, man. I've never been a party person.
Hot tub time machine, man.
I can't do it. I'm not a party person. So aside from the secondary, exploiting that with wide receivers, I think running on the interior will be something we can do. Jamal Williams had a field day for the Lions against that interior of that defensive line. The defensive line is good. The linebackers are good, but our offensive line obviously is really good too. So I think there's going to be a lot of I think both units will have their wins. Okay, so I think that we can, if there's in one area of the running game we can exploit, it's running in the interior, on the inside. Now to flip it, our defense against their offense, this is the area of the game where I am worried about and what I feel could lead to the Niners winning this game. And I will say now I do have the Niners winning this game because the Niners really, really stress the second level of the defense in terms of eye discipline. The linebackers are going to have to be super disciplined with their eyes, with their gaps, with their run integrity, because the Niners will show one thing 1 second and do another thing. And just when you think they're going to do one play again, they come at you with another play. It's the Shanahan, as we all know already, is a master of misdirection. So he is going to really test this Eagles linebacker group a lot. Now, I know we had success last season, but also remember they were a little handcuffed because they had a certain QB in there starting the game in Nick Mullen. Who we cut. So it's a different ball game. And remember also, not only is their starting quarterback and Jimmy G back, but they are giving playing time to their rookie quarterback, Trey Lance, who offers that running dimension as well.
Yep.
That's another threat. So that is where I'm worried about. I do like our D-line. I think our D-line can play well, but it's that linebacker core I just feel like they're going to be attacked all game, and that's my area of concern. That is the biggest matchup in this game, is our linebacking core against their offense, that running game. And Kittle, oh my God, I feel like Kittle is going to have a field day if he's matched up against these linebackers. So that's what I'm coming out with. I think that, I don't know what they're doing with Ayuk. That's strange, bro. Narrative that's so strange with Ayuk and Sermon, both of them. Like reports about Ayuk being eased in because of injury, but then also there's rumors about him being in the doghouse. Sermon not looking as good as Mitchell and Hasty, which I really have a tough time believing because Mitchell was hurt for a lot of training camp and preseason, and the one preseason game he did play, he did not look good. So I call BS on that. And so I don't know what's going on there with those two, but with Debo, we all know Debo is talented.
Especially with the ball.
I still think Slay and Nelson will hold up. I'm worried about that linebacker, our linebackers against that offense. So that's my area of concern. That's how I see it playing out. And because of that, I do have the Niners winning a close one on Sunday.
Yeah. I can see it going that way. I know if you did have access to the tape, and we listened to the same things, the Gannon played a lot of cover 2 against Atlanta. Straight, even in the show, he didn't come out of it. He played it. That's because they had the lead. This Sunday, cover 2 against this team. I don't know if it's the best thing. Why they don't like to beat you deep, like you said, Shanahan, how he stresses and he makes the linebackers, and he also makes the safeties at times. He just puts a lot in front of you. When he puts a lot in front of you, even within your scheme, it can just make you do different things. And it's truly nobody that gets beat. It's just the play design. I mean, we saw it. We saw a little bit of it. I mean, obviously Sean McVay's no Kyle Shanahan's. You know what I mean? But we saw it on the Cooper Kupp touchdown. Cooper Kupp's name came up tonight in the fantasy football trade. It was Mixon and Samuel for Ridley and Cooper Kupp. I don't know who won that trade. I mean, I like Mixon. I like Samuel as well. Especially Samuel is going to be valued if Ayuk is still in the doghouse. But nevertheless, on the Cooper Kupp touchdown with Chicago, there was really nobody saying you were out of position because McVay put something in front and put something on the side, and that's where you kind of had your zone. And Cooper Kupp to sneak behind. This is a saving grace for our defense versus their offense. Get the fucking Jimmy. That's it.
Yep.
Get the Jimmy. You get the Jimmy. He's not gonna roll out. Get the Jimmy. He's a statue back there. Just get the Jimmy. If you get the Jimmy, shit happens. It opens up, and I mean, I don't know what the Lions have, but I know they don't have a defensive line like us. And you didn't hear Kerrigan's name called that much on Sunday. It didn't need to be. And you've already seen the articles coming out that they're starting to look about probably extending Josh Sweat. It's definitely worth it, in my opinion. And just get the Jimmy, because if you don't get pressure, this could be a 10-point win for the 49ers, straight up and down. And that's not to say that when I look at the talent itself, I damn near say they're not that much more talented than us at many positions. Definitely linebacker. I'll be Fred Warner versus any of our linebackers. But the defensive line, maybe you give a slight edge to Bosa, but our DTs are better than theirs. Our O-line, I think, is better than theirs. Our DBs, and probably one of the few cases this year, are better than theirs in the secondary. I mean, safeties may be a wash, but our skill positions, I mean, I would say they're better on paper outside of Debo. But Shanahan and that scheme, and this is where we saw last week the game plan that they had, and it was successful. Well, guess what? Sirianni and Gannon, you fuckers get to do it all over again. And this time it's even harder because you got a dude on the other side who's been doing this shit for a while, who's been in the Super Bowl, has had his team competitive, is playing against probably in the best division in football, and now you have to do it again. And it's going to be harder because he's going to do things a little bit different than Arthur Smith does, because he's going to make your linebackers make the choices that they need to make. And if they make the wrong choice, guess what? They're going to be on the field for another play. They're going to be on the field for another play. They're going to be putting up points. They're going to be giving up points to put on the scoreboard, and it's going to be a long day. And that's the one thing I don't want to have happen, because what I've seen from Jalen Hurts so far is I don't know if he can win you a shootout. And you can't get in a shootout with this team. Because if you try to get in a shootout, I don't think Jalen is the type of quarterback that will allow us to be in a shootout. And I don't want things to get off script. Not this early in the season. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that everything has to go perfect for this team to win on Sunday, but 80% of that shit needs to go right on Sunday.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 for them to get the W. Because if they don't, it's just the experience is going to be against them.
I want to touch on, Jeff, before you go, I want to touch on this comment by Jesse Davis. He says, I think Kittle's one of the best blocking tight ends, but he is not as physically gifted as Pitts offensively, but Pitts is one-dimensional. I think that's a little disrespectful to Kittle. Yeah. Because Kittle is a physical specimen in his own right. I mean, no one is Kyle Pitts in terms of athleticism. I think that, well, I don't want to say no one, but Pitts is a freak athletically, but Kittle is also very, very athletic.
Yep.
Kittle is the best tight end in football, in my opinion, the best tight end in football. And if he is out there, he is going to bully our linebackers. I'm telling you. So I just wanted to address that comment because I don't think people realize how athletically gifted Kittle really is as well. And I know that Tommy says here, I don't know where his comment, there it is. He says, Eagles winning on Sunday, we're the better football team. I don't know about that.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
I think people are Pete, I think you would agree with me. I think people are forgetting how talented.
Don't say people. Call it. This dude right here at the bottom left corner of the screen, I love him to death. He's my brother. But, man, like Ryder says, RELAX, relax.
Yeah, trust me, I want them to win.
I want to be there with you, brother.
I want them to win, and I will be screaming for them to win, and it's definitely possible for them to win. But the people saying how it's so matter of fact that we're a better football team is getting a little bit extreme, and it's a little disrespectful for the Niners because the Niners are. People forget how good they are because last year they were so devastated with injuries. And people, again, Pete, I talked about it last week. People disrespect Kyle Shanahan and act like he's not a top 5 coach in the league. Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the league, hands down. He is like I'm telling you. So let's not act like this is going to be a cakewalk.
Now, the one caveat between their week 1 experience to week 2, listen, not taking nothing away from Detroit. I don't know where Don is right now. He's probably on a fucking milk carton somewhere. Playing on the road in Detroit, season opener is one thing. This Sunday, that link, them some bitches ain't been in there for almost 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
That bitch gonna be rock, especially if we get up. It's a whole different environment. And you got to think, and they haven't been in that environment. The 49ers have been in that environment over 18 months.
Yeah, that is very true.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a lot of the. If this game was in San Fran, I'd give us no shot. If this game was in San Fran, no shot. But because it's here, we have a puncher's chance. But I'm just not to that point like TA and just saying, hey, it's a win, 2-0, this, that, and the third. Would I like it? Yes, because guess what happened? I don't think any team outside of the game going on tonight that just kicked off, I don't think Dallas is winning this weekend at all. No DeMarcus Lawrence, no La'el Collins. Going against the Chargers at home in SoFi Stadium. Not happening, brother. It's not. I don't see it. Especially after the tough test they had last week with Washington, I don't see it. Yep. So, and then, I mean, you could be 1-1, but being 2-0 in this division right now with the third week playing the Cowboys on Monday Night Football in Dallas, it's going to be a big game.
Jeff, what do you got for Eagles defense against Niners offense, and then what is your prediction for the game before we get into live reactions?
Yeah, like what you guys already said. Look, on the Eagles defense side of the ball, it's going to come down to their front four, getting pressure on Garoppolo. We saw what they were able to do against Matt Ryan last week, and it was a major difference, especially that interior part of that defensive line with Hargrave having another stellar game at the start of the season. So it's definitely going to really come down to that front four, getting pressure on Garoppolo, hopefully making them one-dimensional, like you brought up, Chucks. That their run game is going to have a big day against our linebacking core if we don't shut them down. So definitely. It's going to come down to that, and something Peter came down to. It's going to be a battle on Sunday. This is a game you don't want to say like a must win for week 2, but it's definitely for both teams a very pivotal game for both of them, which could make or break their season down the stretch. Because look, the NFC West, we all agree, is the best division in the NFC, possibly in the NFL altogether. For the 49ers to drop 1-1 in that tight division is going to be big for them.
And the Rams are good too, yeah.
Yeah, and then like Pete said, and on the NFC East side of things, we have two NFC East teams battling both 0-1 to try to get their first win tonight. So one team's going 0-2. You have Dallas possibly going 0-2. So from an Eagles standpoint, with all the confidence that they have going into Sunday after that big win, hopefully they can bring that into this week because they're looking at the schedule the following week against the Dallas Cowboys. If they can go into that game 2-0, possibly 2 games above them as well as someone else in the NFC East to get some gain some ground and get a little bit of an edge over the rest of the division, it's going to be pivotal for them. So it's really going to come down to, I feel, Jalen Hurts' play and our front four on the defense side of the football. And I'm not really sold on this, but I just have a weird feeling that link is going to be rocking on Sunday. And home opener sold out. That it's going to be a hostile environment. I feel the players are really going to vibe off of that. And I feel the Eagles come out on top and with a surprise victory against the 49ers. I have them winning 27-24.
Ooh, I like that.
Ryan's comment where I literally just looked up who the 49ers starting offensive line was. And I mean, it's not superstars. No. I mean, but it's balanced. It's balanced. It's balanced. Yeah. It's balanced a lot.
I think there are a lot of names that people don't know, but let's look at it. Trent Williams at left tackle is one of the best left tackles in the game. Yep. Right? Mike McGlinchey is not a really young but really good.
Was he out of Notre Dame, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Same draft as
Philly native. Now, on the interior, you've got Alex Mack, all right, and you've got Lagan Tomlinson. Lagan Tomlinson is underrated. He's not. He's a really solid left guard, and I can say the same for Brunskill. There are names that people don't know, but with this scheme specifically, they execute so well. There's a reason why this running game works so well, because the line knows what they're supposed to do and they execute it so flawlessly. So, on a talent level, like in a vacuum individually, their talent level may not be great, but in this scheme, this team and the way they run it, they are really good because they work in unison. They execute their roles really well. So, I've kind of assumed that Ryan over here is our resident now Niners fan chiming in. I mean, I appreciate it, Ryan. Trust me, like I follow the Niners closely because I got into football because of Barry Sanders and then also Jerry Rice. So like the Niners I've always liked since I was a kid. So I follow them closely. Kyle Shanahan's my favorite coach in the league. I know this team. Trust me, I'm not sleeping on them. That's why I have the Niners winning. I won't give a score because I don't know what the score would be. But hey, let's hope I'm wrong. Pete, let's hope we're both wrong and that Jeff is right.
Big ups to Ryan though. He caught the name of my anime for for this week. Listen, I'm telling you, if you do yourself a favor, if you like Vikings and you like anime, Vinland Saga puts them some bitches together and it makes a beautiful marriage. And boy, it tears at your heartstrings. No, everybody can get it. Kids, children. I mean, it's old people. They literally, in one scene, they say it's 60 people. They raid a village and the dude's begging for his life and he's a Christian. He's begging for his life. And one of the Vikings says, he's like, is the hole big enough? Is the grave dug yet? Or is the hole dug yet? He said, yeah, it's good enough to fit 62 bodies in front of him. And then just executes everybody. Like, bro, it's like that. Do yourself a favor, man.
So we have reached the end of our first segment. We've talked about the Eagles week one, and then week one game. We've covered our predictions and preview of week two. We are going to get into the game has already started, but we're going to get to now our live reactions to Thursday Night Football, New York Giants versus the Washington Football Team. And that segment, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Body Check Wellness. Use the promo code A2D for 25% off, as well as Ocean City Grilled Cheese and Quesadilla Company, which I could really go for right now. Located on the corner of 8th and Ocean Ave, 16 different kinds of grilled cheese on toasty Texas sourdough bread. Use promo code A2D for 10% off. Guys, if you're still the fan chiming in and listening in, definitely give more. Feel free to leave more of your thoughts for the Eagles matchup against the Niners this coming Sunday. If you have any other stuff to talk about around the league, any other reactions to week one, we can discuss it as the game goes on. But right now we've got the Giants in the red zone already. They marched down the field. I think Washington had first ball.
They got bailed out on that rough for the passer call. I mean, that was questionable.
And they punted. Giants have been moving down the field pretty easily so far. Now they're second and goal. Predictions for tonight's matchup before we get too much into the game. Jeff, what do you expect? Like, you can give a win-loss prediction if you want, but like, what do you expect from this game?
I expected a victory from the Washington Football Team going into this. I know it's still early, but this defense is getting gashed early on. They got gashed last week against the Chargers in the passing game, giving up like over 334 yards last week against the Chargers. So it's not looking good for the Washington Football Team at this moment, especially now without their quarterback. Heineke did not look well in that first drive, took a big sack. So I don't know. I'll still stick with my prediction going to this game. But another roughing the passer. Or am I?
I don't know if I'm ahead of you guys or what.
You might be. I'm watching on the stream.
I'm watching on the stream with my iPad. I'm at the part the Giants already scored and they just kicked the extra point.
Yeah, that's where I'm
Oh,
at.
okay.
I thought Daniel Jones's hand may have been down before.
I'm a little behind.
You're a little behind.
Yeah.
Did they score? Did you see them already score or no?
No, I just saw the roughing the passer penalty.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not too far.
But I don't know. I feel it's still going to be a hard-fought battle between the two teams, but I feel Washington's defense might slow it down a little bit, calm it down, and maybe be the difference maker, but who knows?
I don't know. Like Mr. Wing got it right there. There was a lot of RPOs for Daniel Jones on that last drive, man.
Yeah, there was.
That the scoring touchdown, you'll see it, Jeff, in probably about 30 seconds or so. It was a design run. It was just, you would have thought he was Jalen Hurts. You would have thought he was Lamar Jackson. You would have thought he was anybody.
Well, remember, he's got some
Mr.
speed.
Wing, take that last comment back, sir.
Yeah, they moved effectively. 11 plays, 71-yard drive, total time over 6 minutes.
Ryan says it's always cool to have convos with fans of other teams. Absolutely.
Always welcome, Ryan.
Always welcome. Always welcome. He says, all right, I'm going to head out and watch the game, but I hit the sub button and we'll be back for more streams. That's awesome. Ryan, thank you. We appreciate it. We've got so many other shows, besides ours, but we are on every Thursday night, so you can catch us, one of these nights if you want, watch the game with us. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your support. Glad to have you on. And it'll be nice to have a Niners fan in the chat. I've been dying to have a fellow like someone else to talk Niners with because, I like that team. So thank you so much. We've got let's see. What else is here? He says his prediction for the next game was Washington 28, Giants 18. Jake says Washington has a great D-line, but their secondary is suspect. See, their secondary is not supposed to be that suspect. Like William Jackson is supposed to be he's good, but I don't know.
And like the Giants proved winning 2 Super Bowls with a great D-line, doesn't matter how good or how bad your secondary might be, you can still win championships that way, which the Giants are finding ways to take away their front four and Chase Young.
Yeah, and as the Patriots showed when we played them in the I know they had Tom Brady. I know someone's about to come back at me with that, but when you have a D line, but your secondary is suspect, the offense can just get the ball out quickly, and that neutralizes your D line, your pass rush. So
neutralizes your strength.
You always have to be able to have a sort of balance between the two. There's always that debate between the analytic community and other people. They always say oh no, D line is always more important, and then other people say secondary and your corners are more important. I think it's a wash. I think it just always depends on the situation, on your matchup. I think they are both equally important. They both help each other out in certain situations. So I don't think it's as black and white as one is more important than the other. I think they're both equally important in different ways. So Giants got a gift from Chase Young roughing the passer.
Yep.
I just saw that. I mean, that's very
Is he saying that, Mr. Ring, are you saying the gift from Chase Young, you feel like it was a legit call, or do you feel like the call was weak?
Yeah, clarify.
Because I'm 50-50 on that. I mean, he took him to the ground, landed center mass on his chest, but it wasn't like
I missed. Did he drive his helmet when he was driving? Leave it. No.
Like he hit him face up, and then Daniel Jones lost his balance, and they both went to the ground with Chase Young landing on top of Daniel Jones.
Refs are being ticky-tacky.
Of course. I think it's crazy how with one injury to their quarterback, the whole outlook for Washington has just changed.
Yep.
I don't think they're gonna. I had them as the division favorites. I don't think I have them as division favorites anymore. Now and I know Ryan Fitzpatrick is what he is, and he's a journeyman QB for a reason. But he at least offered some type of stability, and he was a legitimate quarterback who can make plays for you. But now, with Heineke, it's going to be tough. It's
But see,
gonna
that's the thing. Like, I think Washington being the favorite in the division coming into the season, I think that was more of an indictment on the other three teams more than it was a nod to Washington.
yeah. This team is weak.
You know what I mean? Because I mean,
weak.
yeah, I mean, Dallas still has the best quarterback in the division. He may not be playing like it now or have enough around him. They may stumble a little bit, but once they get healthy, but it is. But like you said, it's no other division where you see the starting quarterback. Well, maybe Green Bay, maybe the NFC North, but it's very rare where you see the actual quarterback for the starting quarterback go down until where now you may be a fringe top 10 pick team. You know what I mean? Because he's out for 8 weeks. If they suck it up for 8 weeks and they don't win a game, or they start off 3-5, 2-6, the best thing they could do is try to go 4-4. I mean, at that point, when Fitzpatrick does come back, depending on where the rest of the teams are in the division, your season may be lost.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Why he hasn't signed Cam Newton to this point is beyond me. Why they haven't signed Cam Newton? I'm obviously it's not the end all to be all. You know what I mean? It's not going to magically put him back
at
there.
Least
but
he's a starter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like.
And I'm not the biggest Cam Newton fan. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that.
Better than Heineke.
Well, yeah, better than Heineke.
And then he helps your run game. He helps you with Antonio Gibson. You already have Curtis Samuel there. Scary Terry there. We all know Cam when he can throw a deep ball. He has a cannon. May not be the most accurate cannon, but he has one. You know what I mean? And you need to do something with your defense because that's the strength. Because they had 2 series already tonight, and they punted. They went 3 and out, 3 and out.
You can have
spoiler alert.
With that defense,
what you caught up?
No, I'm on third down right now where he's getting chased and throws it away.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, you were saying. I thought you saw. I'm sorry.
But yeah, with that defense and the weapons on offense for Washington, you could absolutely win the division with Cam Newton. So I mean, I don't know.
Unless he just feels like he wants to go with his defense. That's what they did last year, even though they won the division in a crappy year all around the NFC East. But you have to remember their quarterbacks last year was Alex Smith, who was hobbling on one leg basically by the end of the year, and Dwayne Haskins. So it's not like they had good quarterbacks last year. Their strength was their defense, which right now has been a major letdown in the first game and a quarter so far. So. They really need to pick things up on the defense side of football because I kind of feel that's where Rivera is relying on why they're going with Heineke and why they're not signing another veteran quarterback because maybe he thinks for some reason Fitzpatrick can come back here sooner, and then by the time he comes back, I would say they're still in the thick of things in the NFC East, but the way the NFC East is somewhat turning out with possibly Dallas and the Eagles right now, they might be out of it like you guys said by week.
Yeah. I gave Washington like the benefit of the doubt last week because the Chargers, and I said it already. I think the Chargers are going to be a phenomenal team. So I really didn't put too much stock on that defense struggling last week, especially with it being week 1. But this week, I mean, you've got a horrible offensive line in New York.
Yep.
And a Daniel Jones that is prone to mistakes and turnovers. You've got to start if you are supposed to be a really good defense, you've got to start making plays.
Well, that's the thing. Sorry to cut you off, but with this defense is, what's the one thing about Ron Rivera's defense is that he's always had and that he needs for it to be the best. What's the one position where he needs a stud? He needs that guy. He needs that middle linebacker, and Washington just doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Nope.
They don't have that Kuechly. They don't have that Thomas Davis. They don't have that yet. Jamin Davis, the rookie out of Kentucky that they drafted in the first round, to me, I thought was a reach. Great athletic talent, but I mean, if they would have drafted Zaven Collins, that probably would have fit them better. Adding Zaven Collins to that defense in the middle fit them a lot better than adding Jamin Davis.
Ooh, is that a Giants offensive lineman down?
Yeah. Looks like they about to get the car.
And that's right after they showed a screen graphic of Gettleman saying we need to fix the offensive line. And that was back in 2017. It's 4 years later. The offensive line has not been fixed.
Nope.
You know what would have helped fix the offensive line, Mr. Gettleman? If you drafted one of the best talents at guard that has come out in the past several years what am I missing?
Quentin Nelson?
Quentin Nelson instead of a running back.
That would have maxed. I still don't know why they took Barkley. They got caught up in the hype, man. They
wanted the flashy pick.
Yep.
And you guys know me, I'm the running back guy, but I will even say that was stupid. You need to fix your offensive line. He just said it.
Yeah. Quentin Nelson, 8 to 10 years of productivity for your organization. And I'll be honest, people think we joking. Chuck, Saquon may not see his second contract.
Yeah. But like, I'm not a believer in Daniel Jones. Okay? But regardless, what other chance do you give him by not having an offensive line in front of him? What help do you give Saquon Barkley, your second overall pick, if he's just going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage 90% of the time? Quentin Nelson would have helped drastically. We see how good he is. And don't tell me that, he's only a guard, he's not a tackle. Stop with that.
Yep. Stop.
It's an offense. It's the offensive line. If he stabilizes, like you have Nate. Okay, they drafted Andrew Thomas, right? Last year, right? And then say you had Andrew Thomas with Quentin Nelson on one side of the ball, right? You now stabilize one side of your offensive line. You can't tell me that wouldn't help to have at least one side of your offensive line stable. Like, you cannot tell me that Andrew Thomas would have played better if he had a better guard next to him.
Right.
Like, that helps. And, like, offensive line play is not always about just individual play. It's about how you play as a unit, how you play well together. Like the tackle communicating well with their guard, the guard communicating well with the center communicating calls on the line. That's what matters. And so if you had a Quentin Nelson and Andrew Thomas on one side of the line, that would have helped so much. That would have helped a lot. And even in Nate Solder, even though he's way past his prime, still is a solid tackle. He's like,
where's he at now?
He's still the Giants, isn't he? I just saw him. I could have sworn I just saw him on the field.
Was that him that's hurt?
I don't know if I didn't see who was hurt. Why did my computer just freeze?
Yeah, he's still there. He's 76, I think. Okay.
Yeah, I could have sworn I just saw him.
Yeah.
But Dave Gettleman he's had the past two drafts, he's had some really good picks. I'll give him that. But the whole thing, it still makes me mad. People think that I disagree with people think I hated the Barkley pick for them because I didn't want to see Barkley in New York. And even though that is true, that absolutely that is true, putting my bias aside, like objectively speaking, you cannot tell me that picking a running back second overall over an offensive lineman who is just as talented in terms of like how good you are at your position is a smarter pick. It's not. It's just not, especially when you need offensive line help. And I will argue that like forever.
If you think about it, if you look at Bobby Eagles' comment talking about the belief in Howie and Andy Reid with the O-line, once you do it so much, if you have 10 to 12 picks every year in the draft and half of those picks are offensive linemen, guess what happens? You get good at fucking evaluating offensive linemen. The only way you do it is you got to just draft a lot of them and you figure it out and you know what to look for. You know what I'm saying? So with the Giants, they just don't put the investments in. They don't put enough darts in at the dartboard with the offensive lineman. That's why, like, to me, I believe any offensive lineman that you get from the Eagles that you cut, that we may cut, can help another team, because I think that's going to be an offensive lineman that's better and farther ahead than other players.
Look at Big V. Look at Big V.
Exactly.
And he got a big contract because he was with us. Like, you look at it, you hit a really great point, because the draft is always going, in some way, there always is going to be some type of, it's never going to be fully, what is the word I'm looking for? You're not always going to hit 100%, obviously, on your picks. And the Eagles have always drafted in both of the trenches, but even they've missed on picks. Look at Andre Dillard. All right? Look at Andre Dillard. He's a bust. All right? But
he's a bust for us, but he's probably better than somebody else.
At the same time, like, we've invested so much in the offensive line, even though he's become a bust. Who is right now the left tackle for us? It's freaking Jordan Mailata, who was a 7th-round pick. Jordan Mailata. And that's because we continually invest in the offensive line. We have a coach that knows how to develop offensive line. So when a pick like Dillard doesn't work out, we are still in good shape because of the investment overall that we've put in. So that's absolutely the case. This run by Saquon, if he was 100% healthy, that's a touchdown.
Yep.
That's a touchdown. There's just no way. There's no way you can't convince me that's not a touchdown if he's 100% healthy. I think right now he's about at like 70-75%.
I got a nice little same game parlay on right now.
What's your what are the legs?
So it's an 8-legger.
8-legger.
Giants plus 6.5. That's alternate. 55 plus rushing yards for Antonio Gibson. Under 249 passing yards for Taylor Heineke. Over 195 passing yards for Daniel Jones. 1 Daniel Jones passing touchdown. 1 Taylor Heineke passing touchdown. Antonio Gibson and Saquon Barkley anytime touchdowns. That's one. But it's like it was up to like $25 with like free bet, get the bonus back. So
yeah,
$25, I get it back. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
If it don't hit. But man, it's one of those things. That's why I always say, with this, just to kind of keep echoing on, you get good at what you put your investment in. That's why the Steelers turn out fucking wide receivers left and right. Wide receivers that Deontay Johnson, was he on anybody's draft board? Never heard of him. You know what I mean? So
I like them, but yeah, no, I get your point though.
You know what I mean? Like you just had these teams that are good at doing certain things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like linebacker, like I'm trying to think, what's a team that's really good at turning out linebackers? Maybe Chicago.
Baltimore.
Perfect. They know they fucking draft linebackers, so they know what they look for.
Any Kyle Shanahan team knows how to pick up.
Another thing with Baltimore, DBs.
Yeah.
They know how to get corners.
Yep.
The corners didn't fucking help on Monday night, but now that's, you want to talk about a team that may be in trouble, that may fall from grace. Baltimore may be in for it, and that
we talked about it too. Last week.
Because they're probably going to be 0-2.
Who they got this week?
The Chiefs.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're fucked.
That's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm on the 3rd and 2 now. Is Barkley? Yeah, Barkley's in the backfield. I actually sat Barkley. I have him in my 14-team league. I sat him just because, like, I know he's still being eased in. Mm-hmm. It's a short week. I just normally my philosophy is you always start your studs, but there are always exceptions. I think Barkley just isn't. I've heard and seen too many reports of them still easing him back in. However, I am not off the Barkley train, or I'm not getting off of my stance that by mid-season Barkley will be back to form. I had said that the first few weeks of the year, it's going to take Barkley a little bit to get going. He's going to be eased in. So all of this right now, week 1, right now being eased in week 2, I anticipated. But I think by mid season, we can expect to see the old Barkley back.
Hopefully. Hopefully not against
hurt.
us.
Yeah, hopefully not against us. Yeah. When do we play them for? When's our first game?
Late. I think we played them late.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like sometime in November, I think.
okay.
Yeah, and then we play them in December.
Yeah, because the first game's on the road. That's where they're retiring Michael Strahan's number.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember.
They would do. I hope John Runyon is present for that.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Okay, so we play them November 28th after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's
And
a
then we
there's
play
a
them-
Washington defensive lineman that's down. 98. I think is that
Ionitis.
Ionitis.
Yeah.
Looking at the leg.
Man, Ionitis. Jeez. So we play them day after Christmas. So we play them on the holidays.
Yeah.
We play them after Thanksgiving, and then we play them after Christmas.
So real quick before that Saquon run, the most glaring thing, not glaring, but the thing that stood out the most is who the fuck was chasing him down the field. It was a DB from Washington, and it was Chase Young, was like right behind him.
Was he really?
Yes. 99 was right behind him. Oh,
I think that's more of a testament to just how freakish Chase Young is than it is how badly hurt Saquon is. I mean, I already said that 100% Saquon, he scores a touchdown there, but I still think it's just that's Chase Young showing how
exactly.
Chase Young is a freak.
Exactly. Yeah, Bobby Eagles is right. He says this Washington team definitely doesn't want to go down 0-2 going to Buffalo next week. Do you think that was one of the more while we're waiting on commercials? That was one of the more surprising games last year. I did not see the Steelers getting handling Buffalo like that. Obviously, the block punt turned the game around, but at one point, I think the Steelers were down 13-0 or 10-0.
10-0.
10-0.
Came back at half. After half.
So, yeah, but Buffalo need to get their shit together, man. That's where you see, like, even Cleveland. Listen, we'll talk about Cleveland, Kansas City real quick before the game come back. Stefanski had it. I'll be honest with you. If they can figure out what the fuck they want to do with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and not let them just run wild, Kansas City can't beat Cleveland. I'm going to be honest with you. They cannot because, listen, it took a heroic throw from Patrick Mahomes, probably one of the – this is like the Steph Curry. He's Steph Curry right now in the NFL. There's kids running around trying to do the shit that Patrick Mahomes does. When Steph was sitting here between the legs pulling up from 50 feet, now you look at everybody's fucking doing it. All these kids that are coming up in the college and high school, the top players in the country, they're doing the same shit. 5 years from now, every kid's going to be trying to throw it like Patrick Mahomes. Everybody. That's 75. You cannot have at 75 yards down the field William Johnson on Tyreek Hill. Can't do it. You can't do it. You can't put Greedy Williams on Travis Kelce. You can't do it. They need to figure that shit out because if they figure that out, chances are they'll be able to beat Kansas City.
Well, how much of it is them not being able to figure it out, like them specifically, versus I don't think any team can really figure them out.
But other teams put more realistic players on them. Like it's just the looks that they were giving Mahomes when he got in trouble and when they were able to take shit away, that's how they were able to get out. But
yeah,
you just can't. You have to bracket Tyreek all game and make somebody else fucking beat you.
Yeah, you
got to make McCole Hardman or DeMarcus Robinson, somebody else like that beat you. If you can't think that scheme wise you can just make it show something and Mahomes ain't gonna figure it out. Because Tyreek, even when you bracket him, he still may run past both of the DBs.
This is the thing, like what I've always argued, and I think you do agree with me, Pete. Like, everyone says that offense, obviously Mahomes is the most valuable player. Obviously. I mean, that goes without saying. But a lot of people will argue, it has to run the most important offensive player on that team is Travis Kelce. I disagree because
yeah, I agree with you.
In a split second, we've seen so many times where one freaking play by Tyreek Hill changes the game.
Yep.
One play. We saw it in the Super Bowl. The Niners had that game. I swear to God. The Niners had that game won. But that fourth down conversion, the deep pass to Tyreek Hill is what changed the game. How many? And that's not even the only game. Like, we've seen it so many times where the Chiefs are struggling. They're a little bit behind. And then all it takes is a big play by Tyreek, and all of a sudden they're clicking. So to me, it's all about how do you contain Tyreek Hill. I don't think there's any stopping Tyreek Hill. It's about how do you contain him to limit those big plays that get the Chiefs back into the game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers did a great job of that because in the Super Bowl, not only did they get pressure on Patrick Mahomes consistently so that those routes weren't there, or like the deep routes weren't there. They also did a great job of double teaming him, triple teaming him over the top, so that they really limited what they could do with Tyreek all game. I said it already this offseason, people thought that Tyreek Hill was taken out of the game. They said that, he didn't show up. Bro, they double teamed him and triple teamed him all game long. So I don't want to hear that Tyreek didn't show up.
What happened? They lost.
Freaking.
When Tampa Bay did that in the Super Bowl, guess what? Travis Kelce had a fucking field day, right?
Because everyone's attention was on Hill. Someone's going to be open.
They're like, Travis, you can get this little 15, 20-yard shit, bitch. We trying to take away the 75, 80-yard jaw.
Exactly, because what happened in the regular season when they played each other? Tyreek had like over 200 yards.
It was 200 yards in the quarter, right?
Yeah. So of course they're going to be like, we're going to make sure no one beats us except for Tyreek. They're going to make sure that Tyreek is the one person that doesn't beat them. And look what happened. They made sure Tyreek doesn't beat them, and they won the game. So I think that Tyreek is the most important offensive player on that team. Because you pair that with the ability of a Patrick Mahomes who can make water into wine, like it's unbelievable. Those two are like a cheat code together, and it takes so much to just stop them.
Like if I'm James Johnson? Is that the safety? He was a safety from LA.
Johnson.
Was it John Johnson?
Yeah.
If I'm John Johnson, I see Pat Mahomes walking on the street, bitch, I'm punching him in his face, bitch. Straight up. No, I'll punch him in his face, help him up. What was that for? Like, bitch, you was rolling out to your right and you threw it 60 yards or 50 yards across your body.
Yeah.
Like, bitch.
Against the grain. And like John Johnson had good coverage too. And then Tyreek just stops. And
it was put in this spot to where Mahomes knew that if Tariq could catch it, Johnson's momentum's going this way, Tariq's momentum's going that way. And then once he get 2 steps on you, he gone.
You're done. You're done.
You're gone. He's gone.
It's so bad.
End of the first quarter, it looks like Washington's making a move across midfield. McLaurin with a couple of catches, Antonio Gibson with a couple of good runs.
De'Ami Brown had a catch.
He went up for that one.
I like De'Ami Brown. I got him.
Is Curtis Samuel hurt?
Yeah. He's out.
He's out like 4 to 5 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, because they put him on IR, short-term IR, right?
Yeah.
So he's out for a little while.
This should be a 2-possession freaking football game if Daniel Jones makes a freaking better decision than taking a freaking sack on down, taking out a field goal range.
Oh God.
That's why they're the New York Giants.
Yeah. That's why he's Daniel Jones. And like I make fun of Daniel Jones a lot. Like he has some ability. Don't get me wrong. Like he has some traits, and like he's not a horrible quarterback when I really look at it. It's just that the mistakes are so bad that it makes him look worse.
Right. Because you said they're glaring.
Yeah, they're so bad. So bad. So when your plays are that bad, it's just like, I mean, that's who you are.
Yeah.
Let's see. Daly says good play by Brown there, Chucks. Yeah, it was a really, really good catch. I like Brown. I mean, I hope he continues to get looks as the season goes on. I think he's a good complement to Terry McLaurin. So, you know, and I'm not just saying that because I have him in fantasy. I've been saying that since before the draft. I think he's a good player. I really do like De'Ami Brown. Then again, I also thought Reagor was going to be good in year one. So
Well,
what do I know about wide receivers, right?
well, not necessarily. Put it like this: with Reagor, if confidence breeds success, he had to play the first week of the season, had a touchdown, and I mean, yes, was it a lot of it? Kudos to the pancake block that he had from Mailata. Yeah, but even if Mailata doesn't pancake that DB, that DB wasn't catching him. Because you got him in open space. You used the tool to the best of its ability. You put the tool in a position to succeed. And that's gonna give him confidence. It's gonna give him confidence. The offense last year did not do a lot of nothing for anybody's confidence. Shit fucking carried over to Carson in week 1.
Yeah.
In the next year. Look how he played on Sunday. You know what I mean?
I really hope Reagor has a good year this year.
Yeah.
4th and 1 by Washington. They got it.
Legit going for it?
Yeah, they got it.
All right, so you're a couple seconds ahead.
Good call. Good call. When you're honestly, here's if you are beyond the 50-yard line and it's 4th and inches, you are a coward if you don't go for the QB sneak. You don't go for it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You're telling me your QB can't sneak it for inches? If you are beyond the 50-yard line, you better just go for that, or you're a freaking coward. Yeah, this is a one-score game, even though it's felt like it should be more.
Yeah. Go, Gibson, bitch. Run.
He's waiting for those blockers to set up.
I need 70 yards or more about you, baby. Bro, I remember the Thanksgiving game last year, and I was going back and forth in DFS between it was Miles. I forget the matchup we had that week. Was it Miles? So I played 2. I played one for Thursday football only, and I put Gibson in as my running back. That's when you had the 3 touchdown boy against Dallas.
The Cowboys. I broke down that game. Oh, that's when he was hitting his stride, man. Gibson has been developing faster than I expected. He's a stud.
Yeah. What was he, a 3rd round pick?
Either 3rd or 4th. Either 3rd or 4th.
Pre Kenny Gainwell.
Pre Kenny Gainwell.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Memphis.
He ran into Leonard Williams right there, boy.
Yeah.
That's a player. Change the scenery, quote unquote. Change the locker room helped them out a lot.
It did. It really, really did. And you know, Gettleman and the Giants, they love their interior defensive linemen. Yeah. They're like stockpile that crap.
When I looked at this real quick while we were in between plays, I looked at the slate for this week's games. It's really nothing like. I mean, I want to say the Dallas and Chargers game may be like one of the closest games of the week. There's really nothing else out there like that.
There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. Not a lot of games where I'm like, it's a tough pick. Let me go through it. Steelers, Raiders. I guess you can say it's tough. I picked the Steelers because they're at home and Vegas is off of an emotional win later on the night, so I have them. Obviously, you already know I picked the Niners. I picked the Browns at home against the Texans because they're the Texans. I picked the Broncos to beat the Jaguars because Jaguars look like the worst team in football. How about that, too? Ooh, touchdown. Terry McLaurin, is that one of your legs?
No, he's not a touchdown scorer, but Heineke would have passed the touchdown was.
There you go. Okay, so this is one of your legs, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. About to be a tie game. Yo, Terry McLaurin.
Did you see the play before that when he turned Bradbury inside out?
Yes. Terry McLaurin is a top 10 wide receiver in this league. Oh my
Yeah.
God. He is so
Fourth
freaking
round pick.
good. He is so freaking good.
Who did we take in front of him, J. Joel?
Only if he had better quarterback play.
Yeah.
Even with bad quarterback play, he's doing.
Yeah.
No, he's still a stud, but I'm saying his production could probably be even better if he had better quarterback play.
Absolutely.
I think I saw a stat or something like that he's played with like 12 different quarterbacks or something along those lines in his career.
Wow. Already.
Yeah.
He about to get paid, boys.
Wow.
So
Yes.
I don't know how true this rumor is, but you already saw OBJ is out for week 2.
Yeah.
There's rumors that he may be getting traded to Indy.
Wow, really?
Yeah. With no TY, Michael Pittman. I mean, yeah, you got Zach Pasquale, Paris Campbell, but
that would be a good acquisition for Indy. And I have OBJ in my dynasty league, so I would gladly take a trade of OBJ to Indy. They absolutely could use him. Daly has carried Terry. He says I needed that one for fantasy. Nice, Daly.
I don't think I have anybody playing on any. I don't have any.
Yeah, I don't have anyone playing. I don't have like I said, I sat Saquon. I had Saquon. I have De'Ami Brown, but he's not starting. But he is stashed on my dynasty team. I have Jared Patterson in another league, but he's on the bench, so he's not starting. Yeah. Here's a game that's close, and we all were high on this team, so it'll be interesting to see what you guys think. Panthers versus Saints this week.
Ooh.
I picked the Panthers.
Panthers versus Saints?
Yeah, at Carolina.
Well, you mean you picked them with the spread, or you picking them straight up to win?
No, straight up. I'm just talking about straight up.
Where is that?
Carolina.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to see 2 games back to back with Jameis without any interceptions. Yeah, and I like what I saw out of Carolina. Defense is balanced.
The defense, yeah. I like what it's on.
Wasn't Joe Brady with the Saints before he took the other job with Carolina?
I think so. Yeah. I could be wrong, but I think you're right. Because I think Joe Brady went from New Orleans to LSU and then got hired with Carolina. I have the Rams beating the Colts, which is tough for the Colts. I mean, they have another tough matchup. I have Miami. Huh?
Stafford better go off.
Yeah,
I had them on my bench last week, so.
I have Miami beating Buffalo in Miami. Yes, I have Buffalo going 0-2.
I can't see that happening.
I know. I could be wrong. That could be one that I'm totally dead wrong on. I have New England beating the Jets. I have Cincy beating the Bears. Obviously, Tampa beating Atlanta. Arizona beating the Vikings. I have the Seahawks beating the Titans. Titans going 0-2. I have Chargers beating the Cowboys, Chiefs beating the Ravens, and the Packers rebounding in a big way and destroying the Lions on Monday Night Football. So yeah, this I say this now, but this week of games seems pretty chalk. But watch, it's going to be like crazy upsets.
Like I'm in a couple suicide pools. So my pick this week, I picked Cleveland against Houston. I think the 12.5-point spread is a little too much just for a game. Houston looked pretty good. If you want to go out on a limb and not use any of the, and maybe not a playoff team this week, I think a good suicide pick this week is Daniel Jones. Who the fuck was that to?
I have no clue. See, throws like that are like, where are you throwing to? Remember last week? He tried to throw a jump ball to Kyle Rudolph in the end zone, and it went like 5 yards out of the back of the end zone. I'm like, what kind of jump ball is that? What are you throwing it to?
The throw was so bad it completely cut me off my train of thought. But no, if you want to look at that like a sleeper suicide pick this week, take a look at Denver versus Jacksonville.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
I know it's Denver's coming. They're coming east again, or maybe they stayed over here, kind of similar to the to what was going on with the San Francisco 49ers. But definitely look.
I actually picked. I don't do suicide pool or survivor. But
That's I guess that's a better word for a survivor.
Yeah, survivor. My brother-in-law has been asking me advice. I told him last week I would have went with Denver, and he did go with Denver. So that's the team that I wouldn't have been able to pick this week.
Stop patting the ball. This some of my biscuit.
Well, see, now Washington's got some momentum. Now they're getting pressure on that O-line.
I cashed out I had right after the first touchdown. The line was like Washington. No, it was the Giants -1.5. I took the Giants for like a $5 bet. I already cashed that bitch out back. I'm not playing no games. I already cashed that bitch out. I want to see if Washington's getting any points right now. I may bet the other side.
Oh my god!
That's what you get. Live bets on right on here, fam. It already flipped that fast.
Did it really?
Washington -3.5 now.
Wow.
Giants getting points.
Oh, look who it is. Don. What's going on?
There you go. Did you just get off of work, Don? Or would you just get your massage? What's going on, man?
Don.
Did you go to the home opener?
How are you feeling after the game? Because even though you guys lost, I actually liked what I saw from Detroit. Like, they actually – now I know, like, it was probably late. Niners, eased up off the gas pedal late. So, I take that in the context. But Jamal Williams had a good game. It sucks. Jeff Okuda, man, out for the year.
That
sucks for them. Man. Steelers fan wanted, what's up, fellas? It's a great Sunday for both of our teams. My brother-in-law is a Steelers fan, and I was telling him, like, I'm sorry, bro, but I picked the Browns to win the division. I just don't know about that offensive line, and I don't know about Big Ben anymore. But I love Najee. Y'all know I love Najee Harris. I love him. I love me some Najee Harris.
Love him, but you screwed me over in fantasy. Only gave me 4 points.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. He's gonna have better.
43 yards. Damn it.
His usage was really high, so I
agree.
There will be better days. Trust me. Like I'm in the one just like cheaply that I'm in. I faced Jake, and I only scored like 90 points. And keep in mind we have like 9 starters, so like 90 points is really really low. Because in that league, I had Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams. I had Najee Harris. I had who else that didn't put up anything? The only person that really put up anything for me in that league, I think, was I'm about to go to it. So yeah, I had Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Jones who gave me nothing, Najee Harris who gave me nothing, Devontae Adams gave me nothing. I had Keenan Allen who had 13 points, which is okay. Noah Fant 9 points. DJ Moore 12 points. James Robinson 5 points. And then Sam Darnold as my super flex. So like my team shit the bed. So I get it. I totally get it. But I'm still sticking with Najee Harris. I'm not panicking. Najee will have better days. Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams will have better days. It's just a matter of week one. Don says, I'm going to tell you, the Niners secondary is really suspect. Well, yeah, now that they lost their CB1, they are really suspect.
And their CB1 was very fresh because he already had like 2 previous to ACL tears.
Yeah. Logan Thomas. He says...
Good. Get Logan Thomas involved.
Now there's a flag on the field, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm still in a fucking commercial. I'm always 3 plays behind you guys. I'm like almost a whole drive.
What are you watching on?
I'm watching on the NFL lab. I'm downstairs in my basement in my podcasting room, and there's no cable down here, so I have to watch on streaming service. So I'm watching on the NFL
I went 2-1 in my fantasy. The one I lost was because of fucking Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what type of shit he was on.
But you know what? You know who made a good point? I forget who made the point. But Green Bay, the last couple of years, every year they always seem to have that type of really, really, really bad loss. Last year it was against Tampa Bay, where they looked horrible. So you know what? As bad as it looked, and I am not concerned. Actually, I'm not concerned because I think they will rebound. They just have this knack of having a really, really bad loss every year.
Right. And it's always early, too.
Yeah, it's always early, yep.
Jake says, I won a do-over. I lost by 24 points.
0.24 points.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh, 0.24
I'll show you that
points.
right here. Ready? 94.84. That's me. 94.84 to 94.60.
What platform is that?
Sleeper. Sleeper is the best platform for fantasy there is. I'm telling you. It is so good. It's the best. It is the best. It has so much to it. Like, it's just awesome. Awesome. Go next year, guys. If you aren't on Sleeper already, get on Sleeper. It's better than Yahoo, better than ESPN, better than NFL.com. It is phenomenal. It's so freaking good. I have no regrets. But anyway, yeah, I beat Jake by 0.24 points, and he would have beat me if he actually realized that it's a super flex league and played Dak at the super flex spot instead of Robbie Anderson. Because he sat Dak.
That's supposed to be.
Don says this game stinks.
Not wrong. What do you expect from an NFC East matchup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse Davis, I'm saying it. Both these teams are just ass.
I thought the way the Giants started the game, I was like, oh shit, they may be on to something. And then
no, they
Daniel Jones turned into Patty McPatty the football bitch. Like
yep.
He in that bitch like this. And it's get hit. Like throw that bitch away.
Jesus Christ.
Is it Tressway?
It's the where he had McLaurin open and freaking threw it on the outside and freaking it was incomplete.
Yeah.
Oh, so you are.
I told you, I'm really far behind.
You're really far behind.
You're
Bobby, does anyone else notice they put goal line pylons on the first down markers now?
Yes.
I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm. I saw it. What game did I see it in? Where it stood out? It may have been.
Who the frick is there?
It may have been Green Bay versus the Saints. Shout out to Glassboro's own Juwan Johnson, man.
He's from Glassboro?
Yes,
Juwan Johnson, really?
From Penn State, then Oregon. 2 touchdowns, week 1.
Shoot, I didn't know that. So who do we call now as Glassboro's finest? Is it Corey Clement or Juwan Johnson?
He still has a ring, so until Juwan Johnson gets a ring, it still has to be Corey.
Yep, good answer.
Yeah.
That was very true.
And Corey's still in the league too, so it's not like he's not doing anything.
Well, no, I think he got cut by the Giants.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I didn't pay attention to their cut.
I don't know if he's on the team. I don't know if he got picked up or not. He may be on the practice squad.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Cowboys.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. He got picked up by the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So
we're
next year,
32, baby.
Next year he'll probably be on Washington. Complete the circle.
He's Alfred Morris without the skill of Alfred Morris.
Yeah. Future superstar running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, Corey Clement. I still remember people telling me that, and I'm just laughing at them. He's special, man. He's special. He had 100 yards receiving in the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, he's special. 4 years later, he's on a practice squad.
Just like how everyone thought freaking Bryce Brown was going to be the next coming of Barry Sanders after a freaking game.
Yeah.
That's we at least with him and Nelson, we maximized their best seasons. At least we got something out of it.
Yeah.
We got something out of it. Their
for
best
1 year, for one season, Nelson Aguilar was who we wanted him to be.
And Not even just for one season. Their best game combined. It was the biggest game.
Yep.
They brought it, man.
Yep.
Like I always say, that touchdown pass that Clement caught in the Super Bowl. Jesus. That seam pass.
Yeah. That is I don't know a lot. There are wide receivers in this league that can't make that catch.
That couldn't have made that catch.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
I feel like the spirit of Darren Sproles after he got hurt somehow went into Corey Clement and was like, you are now going to be the receiving back for the Eagles this season. I just somehow, because out of nowhere he became a good receiving back. Out of nowhere. I don't know where. He never did that in Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Never did that ever. But for 1 year, he just caught everything. I don't know how it's possible. Let's see. I'm missing. Jesse Davis says, I don't like Washington taking shots for the first. Should have tried to get the first in chunks, more manageable.
Yep. Yeah.
Don says, do y'all think Urban Myers will leave the Jags for USC?
He may.
I don't know.
Not yet.
Really bad, but I don't think so yet.
If the job is open at the end of the year.
I was supposed to say, good point, Jeff. If they don't hire anybody credible and they're still open at the end of the year, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. Man, the NFL it's a different breed. It's more pressure on you. It's more pressure on you from a standpoint of the expectations, but it's also more pressure on you because the players that you're dealing with, these guys making money. They making more money than you. They ain't gotta listen to you, bitch. Like it's a whole different animal.
Well, that's a salary cap. No one wants to go to the freaking Jaguars. At least in college, you can recruit talent to come to your school.
So we do think it's so. What are the chances then of Urban Meyer pulling a Bobby Petrino and quitting? What are we putting that at? Like,
I'm probably like a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 that he pulls a Bobby Petrino.
if given the right opportunity, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm just back of them starting the drive. So I don't know how many plays you guys are into by now.
It sounds like we're consistently maybe 2 to 3 plays ahead of you. Chuck's is probably about 10 to 20 seconds ahead of me.
Okay.
I'm on my Xfinity Stream app on my iPad.
That's where I'm at, but I'm actually on the website itself.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah, because remember I told you like the app, the mobile app is ahead of the website.
Yeah.
For some weird reason. I don't know. What a better world it would be if streaming just wasn't delayed at all.
Right?
Like, can they just make everything in unison, please? ATD just posted images of the Nick Gates injury. His leg is completely broken in pieces.
Yeah, he's done.
That's crazy. Yeah, Saquon does not look like Saquon.
No. He looks leaner, though, too. He looks smaller. He looks like he's trying to slim down some.
He doesn't have the elusiveness that he usually does have.
Jesus. Already, how much time is left in the quarter?
I'm at
6:17.
Yeah, so I'm at 6:18.
Okay, no, I just saw they took the second time.
Jesus Christ!
Let's say horrible clock management or using timeouts already.
God. Oh, wait. Hold on. What is this going?
Bring that shit back because I do not need him scoring, bitch.
Oh, my gosh.
Who scored? Just spoil it.
We don't know yet. It's a flag. But it was Daniel Jones, a.k.a. Lamar Jackson, running for like 60.
Jesus.
It's coming
back. Good.
It's coming back. Oh, Daniel Jones just ran for his life and has nothing to show for it. Bobby Eagles says, hold on, I'll get to the question in a bit. Not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna fall on this run. I could have sworn he was gonna fall again, just like he did with us.
That was Sanchez-esque when he did that shit. Like, how is he that fucking fast, bro?
It's just straight line speed, man. He's long, so he got those big strides, those long strides. Ooh, good play. Okay, so Bobby Eagle says, will Josh Gordon return to the NFL? So which team could you see him taking a chance? I don't know. I'm so tired of the Josh Gordon's back. Josh Gordon's back. There's no way he's gonna come back and be like.
Is he 30 yet?
Like, I am so tired of the Josh Gordon thing. I'm so over it. So over it.
And at this point, does the team really want to take any type of risk on him whatsoever?
Yeah, after how many suspensions? I don't know. Donald says, what's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
No.
Ooh. What's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts, the franchise quarterback for the Eagles? It's still up in the air.
It's 5 games.
Yeah,
5 tape.
Yeah, it still remains to be seen.
That question will be answered at the end of the season.
Yes.
Got a hold, I think.
Illegal contact, I think. Or
no. Hold, yeah. He put him on the inside of the neck pad, shoulder pad.
Oh, I'm gonna put my jacket on.
Can I get a Saquon running touchdown right here, please?
No.
Are you going against Saquon?
Oh, never mind. I'm going against Antonio Gibson. He can score all he wants. I don't give a shit.
Is Tony
Is
even
Tony
playing?
even playing?
No, man.
Was he on the did he start the year on the short-term IR?
I don't know. Did he?
Who's that?
No clue. Can we stop running Saquon in the tackles and get him on the outside, please? Because they're coming right down the A gap. Right down the C gap. Do you know who got burnt for that long Daniel Jones run? Did you see?
No, I didn't see.
Landon Collins.
Oh my god. Former Giant. Third and 8.
If I'm Joe Judge, I'm going for it. I say nope.
Washington secondary is garbage. Definitely not a top 10 D again this year. I don't see it.
Shepard could have leaned 52 more to the outside and then broke inside. Would have more space to run away from him.
Daly says Tooney had a couple receptions like for -2. Look who is making an appearance.
What's up, man?
The 1-year-old. Say hi. Say hi.
Looking more and more like your better half, your mama, than your dad.
Yeah. He is definitely like his skin complexion is definitely lighter.
Yeah.
Like, he is so much lighter than me.
He has mommy's nose.
Say hi to your uncles. Say hi to your uncles. Want to watch football with us?
How we progressing on the tummy time and walking and all that?
So he's crawling like a monster. He is not standing yet, but he is definitely like almost there. Like he'll stand up with little assistance now, and sometimes he'll stand up like for like 2 seconds before falling on his butt. But he's making progress. He's starting to eat a little bit, so it's good signs, but like he's not fully there yet. But he's definitely started to put stuff in his mouth, and like we give him like little shreds of chicken strips.
Right.
He'll swallow them little by little. So maybe who knows? Maybe in Disney World you'll start eating, right?
He seems calmer right now. Like he's like figuring shit out. Like he's kind of used to the screen.
Yeah. He watches TV, he loves Frozen 2. He loves Olaf. Olaf is his boy. And just like last year, he watches games with me.
Okay.
Like the football will be on and you'll watch it. So yeah, see, look, football.
Yeah, like I got something to say to the people, yo.
Daly says you're getting big, buddy. You're getting so big. And he says he's gonna be
Fat.
taller than you in 6 months. Yes, I say 3 months he'll be taller than me. What do you think? He'll be taller than me in 3 months?
Now he's getting comfortable now, so he's starting to make some noise. About to cause some ruckus. He's about to cause some ruckus. I saw real quick off topic. I saw your movie on Friday.
My movie Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
How did you like it?
Whew.
Really good.
Whew.
I have to wait till it comes out on freaking streaming. So upset.
Yeah, it's put it like this. This is going to be, and me and Jeff know because we're wrestling fans, but AEW's most recent pay-per-view, All Out, was probably like when you do everything right, and now so far it's just the lead-in. Like this back half of the year for Marvel is just, man, like. But the thing is, the hype is there. And I think that it'll still live up to the hype, but if it lives up to the hype, like, dude, next year, what is it, phase 4 for Marvel or phase 5?
Yeah, phase 5, I think.
Phase 5? Whew. When everybody was so scared where they thought that, okay, we lose Chadwick Boseman, we lose Iron Man.
Iron Man and Captain America.
So, like, how can they come back from this? Listen, they did a
good job.
They did a great job with Shang-Chi. They did a good job for Black Widow's sister. Maybe not so much for Scarlett Johansson,
but for Yelena, yeah.
Yeah, but for Yelena, they did a great job with Loki. Really, Don.
Yeah.
If I see that.
I saw the Spider-Man one. I didn't see the
Wolverine one.
If I see that in No Way Home, oh my God!
Ooh, Thomas, nice grab.
I need him to have under 48 yards though.
The game ain't based off of No Way Home. It's just a
standard game.
Yeah. For some reason, with Sony, they don't usually make movie games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like with the superheroes, that is. Sometimes it's a little based off of it, or they'll have a few segments or portions into it, but for the most part, it's just gameplay.
Hold on. Freddie Gonzalez, what the hell are you talking about? I'm gonna be nice because my nephew over there. Nobody said that shit, bro.
What is he talking about?
Well, I did. I picked the Eagles to win.
So
he should have said God, not plural with the S. Not plural with the S. He should have said bottom row.
Well, me and Tom. So unless he saw Tom's comment earlier.
If he saw Tom, then if you saw the guy that said we're going to and they book it, baby. His views did not reflect the views of total whole.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Freddie, you obviously did not watch the whole first half of the show, or even the from the 30-minute mark to the hour mark. You obviously did not watch because me and Pete went on a whole thing about how the Eagles are going to lose to the Niners.
Yes.
So I don't know what you're talking about. You need to go back and watch that part of our show. But yeah,
there's no way if both teams play their A game that the Eagles beat the Niners. In order for the Eagles to beat the Niners, they had to play really crap, and the Eagles still got to play well. And in order for the game to be close, Eagles still got to play good, and the Giants and the Niners may not be good. I did not see God of War yet, Don.
Let me see what's God of War now. No.
That's a PS5 exclusive, right? God of War, I believe.
Yeah.
I am excited. I said it last week. I know, Jeff, you weren't on here. I am still so excited for the Matrix Resurrections movie.
Yeah, I didn't even realize they were coming out with a new one until I saw the preview the other day.
Yeah.
Don says, yep, it's a PS5. Good thing I have a PS5 and a Series X, so I get all the titles depending on the platform.
I barely have time to play Madden anymore.
Jesse Davis says, ready coming into an Eagles show and getting heard that fans have hope for next week is my crumb of the week. It's all right, Freddie. We do appreciate you coming on.
True.
We just don't want you to think that like we're being all completely homers
And I
here.
picked them to win. I didn't pick them to demolish them like they did last week to the Falcons. I still have a relatively close game. And like Pete said, the Eagles are going to have to cause the 49ers to make a couple of mistakes for them to have a chance to win that football game. Because if the 49ers play a flawless football game, I agree with it. The Eagles don't have a chance.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Don with a blast from the past. Who remembers the Matrix video game on the OG Xbox, the one that's shaped like an X? I remember that.
Are you talking about Enter the Matrix where you play as Ghost?
Yeah.
Woo!
Never played it.
Woo! Guys, I'm telling you, you don't know. I am such a huge fan of the Matrix. I am like so psyched.
Chucks is going as Neo for Trick or Treat this year.
I don't know if that's a good idea considering the whole stigma around like trench coats right now.
Well, I mean, in the preview, in the trailer, he didn't have the trench. He was more John Wick than Neo.
Yeah,
the whole trailer. Yeah. Which I'm like, okay, like it almost made me think, like, did they make this movie based on the fact that John Wick's success? Like, are they just trying to capitalize on Keanu Reeves being hot right now?
Maybe. But what I liked about it was that it had more of a more homage to the first Matrix than 2 and 3, because 2 and 3 were definitely like, how can I explain this? They definitely amped things up. 2 was like they made Neo like a Dragon Ball Z character who just beat everyone, right? And then 3 was just all like about Zion and like all that, barely any stuff. And barely any crazy fight scenes inside the Matrix, but now it has more of a Matrix, like an original Matrix movie kind of feel and action scenes to it, which I really, really like. I think it's good. I was when they first announced the movie, I was like, but after seeing the trailer, oh man, I'm so psyched.
Well, if we ever get a chance, we got to go to this spot. It's called the Galloping Ghost. It's somewhere in Illinois, but it's like the largest stand-up arcade anywhere. Like, and it has every game, every Street Fighter, every Mortal Kombat.
Damn!
Wow!
Any game that you can think of from any era, it does. Remember, it actually has one of the only R360 units that actually work. It's one. Remember that unit that you used to sit in and it articulates you all the way around?
Yeah.
But a lot of people have them, but they don't function. This one actually functions.
Wow.
What are we reviewing?
Spot of the ball.
Okay.
Yeah. If he was short enough. I was Street Fighter 2 was my first video game that I actually like. I was like hardcore into.
Yeah.
I used to play that on my Sega Genesis all the time.
I was one of the ones that actually had
Sega
Genesis. What was it? Was the add-on? Just the 32.
Yeah, the
I actually still have it.
do you really have it?
Yeah, I actually do have it. I don't know where it's at, but I came across it like maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh my god!
I still have it. And what was it? It was like Prime. It was Killer Instinct was probably like.
Oh, Killer Instinct! I remember that game.
Was the like the head title on its release?
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Bunch of nerds in here. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Don says, who's your favorite Mortal Kombat player from all time across all?
Liu Kang. I'm a Liu Kang guy.
I was probably a Johnny Cage fan for the first one. 2 and 3 in them. I can't remember his name. He had the hooks, and when you start being able to do the combos, he would start. No, I'm sorry. The very first one, I was more Sub-Zero, but ever since then, I want to say, was it Cabal, where he had like the kind of hooks, and he would run, and he would kind of spin you around.
I'm pretty sure it's Cabal.
Cabal.
So hold on. They say Don says. Street Fighter had the worst movie ever.
The OG one?
Dude, Street Fighter's movie was god awful. Guys, You haven't watched the anime movie then, because the anime movie was phenomenal.
Yeah, if they're talking about the live
action stuff, don't even pay any mind to it. You have to watch Street Fighter, the animated movie. That was a true Street Fighter movie. I still have it on Blu-ray.
They made a couple.
Oh my god, that movie was phenomenal. Washington's about to score.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I need Gibson right now. But I don't think we're gonna get it because they got 2 time myself, 29 seconds left. Grayson.
I know
you hear me calling you.
Jake knows. I was gonna say Street Fighter anime was amazing.
They made a couple of those. I think it was Street Fighter and then Street Fighter Alpha.
Street Fighter Alpha was good too, but the first Street Fighter animated movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was so good. What's wrong, buddy?
Is it bedtime yet?
Soon, yeah. What? You like Street Fighter too? You like Street Fighter as well? Mr. Wing. Ooh, Taylor! Oh, I thought Taylor was gonna bring it in. Watch, I got a trick. Watch, show them.
Does that calm him down? He's enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's why they're putting him to sleep. He's like, all right, it's enough of that shit.
The first time we realized he does that, we were dying laughing for like.
You ever like? They said sometimes when your kid starts crying for what appears to be no reason, you just start crying too, and you just cry at him. Just start whining. He whine, you whine. You like he's sleepy though.
Yeah, he's probably sleepy. His mom just needed a break real quick, and since we're about the end of the show, might as well. But,
yeah, we're trying to get through these last 23 seconds. It's taking like 4 minutes.
It's taking 5 years.
So, fam, next week we're gonna recap what happens in the league. Obviously, we're gonna talk week 2, Eagles, Niners. Freddie, hope you join us if you're still out there. Ryan, it sounds like you were a 49ers fan checking with us. I know you subbed. For anybody that was here for the first time, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe. New shows every day of the week. Anything. May catch me and Jeff on a wrestling show every once in a while. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. But, man, just hug your loved ones. Give the people in your life that you love the flowers while you can. Don't wait till the end. You know what I mean? That's all I got into these 23 seconds. And please, my fingers is crossed for Antonio Gibson touchdown. And that's not Gibson.
No,
is that Gibson?
that's McKissick.
I used to have him, and I got rid of him too. McKissick.
Yeah, he's their backup.
They can kiss my ass. Damn it.
I'll take it.
Jesus.
I know.
Rivera, man. What in the world, bro? Oh, he about to wild out when we get off screen. I can see it in his face.
I know.
If you want to shut it down now, we can shut it down now.
Yeah. I don't need to try to do anything.
All right, gentlemen, it's been real. This one, see, he does it himself. He tries to do it himself. Show them. Do it.
Hulk smash.
All right, fam. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've got a baby crisis on my hands, a sleepy, tired baby. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with us, sticking with us. We will be back next week as usual for another Birds of a Feather. Give our reactions to the Eagles-Niners game. We will give our live reactions to Thursday Night Football as usual. And we hope that we see you back with us. For myself, for Grayson, little crying Grayson over here, for your boy Pete and your boy Jeff, we thank you. God bless. Be safe and fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly.